Hello, everybody. Today is a nice day outside. Welcome to TWA on Channel T2 News at 2:15 in the morning. Today we'll be covering China's self-determination level and Middle East self-determination level.
I'm really sorry. Why are my fingers on my nose?
Taking your nose away.
Please,
Yeah, with my fingers.
please stay tuned
That could be possible.
for after the commercial break.
You had that big nostrils.
Alright, goodbye. Thank you.
Do you have big nostrils?
Hello. We are here in the Middle East focusing on one country that has strived for independence, Israel. Oh, sir, hey. Hey, can I ask you a few questions?
Yeah.
How high do you believe Israel's self-determination is after World War II?
Well, I believe that their self-determination is really high. In 1947, the UN General Assembly voted for a partition of Palestinian into Palestinian state and a Jewish state.
What did Palestine do about this partition?
Well, all the Islamic countries voted against the partition and rejected the outright.
What did they do after that?
They argued that the UN had the right to partition a country without considering the wishes of the majority of its people. And finally, it was decided that on May 14th, 1948, that David Ben-Gurion, a longtime leader of the Jews, announced the creation of Israel.
What's that have to do with self-determination?
Well, ever since they became independent, they have fought wars with its neighbor states to stay independent. They have strived to stay like that.
How is Israel's economy?
They are pretty good. They import crude oil and military equipment and raw materials. They export cut diamonds and high technology equipment.
Okay, thank you, sir. That's all we have. Back to you. Back in the studio.
Hello, we are back with TWA News for an exclusive interview by Jake Duckworth with Chinese historian Jake Hyde. Now to you, Ducky.
Welcome back to TWA News on Channel T2. My name is Jake Duckworth. Today we have with us a very special guest. His name is Jake Hyde. He's a famous Chinese historian. Let's welcome Jake Hyde, everybody.
Thank you. In recent news, China's political struggle has come to an end. And it all began with the Opium Wars, where China suffered its most humiliating defeat at the end of English. The conflict initiated when England began selling Indian-grown opium to China. After time, China's economy began to suffer because opium prices were so high, and now more than half the population was addicted. Eventually, opium was made illegal in China. However, it was still suffering, threatened to refuse all trade with Britain. However, the English were being stubborn and still sent trade ships to China containing opium. Eventually, China rejected English merchant ships, to which England responded with warships. China and England erupted into a small war. The war only lasted a few months, and China lost because of its inferior technology and warfare tactics. This provided the lack of control that China had over their own economy, and which really speaks for their self-determination. Moving on to the Cultural Revolution. The Cultural Revolution was a reformation of the failed Great Leap Forward campaign, where the adored Mao Zedong took over power in China and tried to destroy its old society. while creating a more industrialized one, the movement was cultivated by the Red Guards. This is an organized movement component of China's youth. The entire Red Guard idea initially started a powerful protest, but eventually erupted into one that attacked people who followed the four olds of Chinese society. The main idea of the entire Cultural Revolution, including the Red Guard movement and the Great Leap Forward, was to abolish the old Chinese culture and rebuild a newer, greater one. After many years, China is finally in control of their country. Families are Take it away, Jake.
Were you talking? Oh, my bad. Alright,
I'm sorry that bored you so much.
it's okay. I'm used to it. Anyway, what's next on the agenda?
This wire stops.